Hi everybody, welcome back to Sharon from Vivid Days. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me. I hope that introduction has got you all calmed. So let me tell you about, put my teeth in, what I've done on this project so far. So people who've watched me in my recent videos, you'll know that I am going back to my brushwork. I will still be bringing in some of my resin work and all other mediums, but I wanted to brush up on my skills, pardon the pun there. And part of me doing this was showing you my learning journey, and you know that I have a passion for the ocean, and I've been doing quite a few sunsets, and I was requested by a really great art friend stroke community on here to do some more dramatic ones or stormy ones with Paynes Grey, and I did one on my last video which I absolutely love, but on this one I wanted to try and create one where it was a little bit more in the distance. Anyway, I'm Sharon and I'm digressing. Right at the beginning of this video, I was practicing with a couple of new brushes I've got, and that's part of my learning, and it wasn't really giving me, for this particular project and the size of the canvas, they were a bit overkill. So you saw me go to another brush, which was like your standard paintbrush, square one. Sorry for the professional people that don't know the names. And it wasn't working for me until I got my hands on this little brush here, and it responded really well. Now, this paint was quite dry, or my canvas was very thirsty, and but I didn't want to overcommit with the paint because I was going to be building it up slowly over layers. And with Bob Ross in mind, he does say that, you know, create lazy clouds, and I know that I tend to overwork my clouds, and there's moments when I've been editing this video and I look back, I think it would have been lovely if I'd have stopped there. However, I do love the end result, and although I've cut little sections out of my videos to try and keep it to a respectable time, you see the full process of how I do my clouds, how this in real time. I've not speeded any of this up, and so the reason I want to share you that is to give you a hope that if you're fairly new to paintings and you are exploring different things like me and you want to brush up on your skills, it's okay to do the dance with your brush and your paint and keep going until you're happy. Yeah, that's right. Because along the way you're going to learn, and you're going to dramatically improve your skills along the way if you keep with it. Now, the colours I'm using on the sky and the ocean is the Paynes Grey, the white and the ultramarine blue. And that's it, and I keep going backwards and forwards until I get that happy. happy sort of balance that aesthetically pleases me. And I think that's really important, that you keep going until you're happy. Keep standing back, keep having a little look. If you're unsure or if you're overworking it, take a picture and walk away and come back to it, because as I've mentioned, there's sections on this that if I'd have left it at certain stages, I would have been really happy with as well. Anyway, I am going to put a little bit of music on with you. All you're going to see me is to and fro with these clouds, and I would love your thoughts on this along the way. And I'd love to know if you've worked on clouds before and if you're really happy with them or any learns. But I'll see you shortly. Dodgy FM about to come on. So never be afraid to have a reference photo. Just off to my right, I've got a reference photo. I am not trying to replicate that. It just helps me understand how can stormy clouds look, and it helps you understand maybe how you could do a composition, or how you can get the depth of where things would be depending on the style of image you're wanting. And what I mean by that is, where is your horizon going to be? Where will your clouds start? Where will your beach be? Now my reference photo was just for the clouds really, and you can see me very loosely slowly building it up, and I keep very little paint on my brush, and for some people that might be painstaking, but for me it helps me with a little bit of control, because I'm trying to make sure that there is a mixture of dark and light, and I'm trying to let the canvas grab the paint off, and I'm keeping in sort of a circular motion, and I'm only pressing lightly. I put a little bit on to start with, and then you can see I can come in, and then I try softening some of the edges or blend it into the other colours if it's a little bit wet. And then that way I'm thinking that the clouds are going to feel more alive, the light's going to be hitting it in different ways. And the hardest thing for me was getting the ones in the distance, because I when I look back at this, I can see I keep lowering my horizon line and my clouds keep coming down. And that's because in my head I'm thinking, okay, they're in the distance and they're smaller, but they should be coming down towards the ocean. And the sections of this about now that if I'd have left it like that, I think, yep, I absolutely love that. It looks quite stormy. Maybe there's a little bit of thunder happening there. And then I overwork it and I paint it out, but it all works out in the end. But you can see I keep rotating those colours, standing back and trying to see, does it look or does it make sense? Not that there is such a thing as a correct proportion cloud, because they're all unique and individual, and in your magical world there can be anything you want to be. Now, at some stage you see me get my little fan brush out, and I'm trying to drag down to make it look like there's rain in the distance, and I end up going away from that in the end, just because I think if I'd have had a bigger canvas I could have done it. And just looking at those clouds at the bottom left where it's meeting the ocean, it's like, oh, I wish I'd have kept that part. Anyway, you live and learn as you paint. And yeah, it takes a little while for me to build these up. I think if I'd have used a bigger brush, maybe I could have done it a little bit quicker. But I enjoy the learning process, and I hope that you're enjoying seeing me. Like just then I was trying to put like a bum on my clouds, and then I worked out, no, that's just not going to be right, Sharon. But be willing to go. Look at that one, that just looks silly. But when I'm putting it on, I'm like, yep, get that out there. So if the cloud was closer together or bigger, it might have made sense. But you can see me slowly edit it out. Now I edit it out by adding a little bit of water to my brush, just to try and blend it or remove the excess, and then tiny little bit of that Paynes Grey and white over it, and it almost disappears like it was never there. Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit more of Sharon's Dodgy FM on, and yeah, I will come and chat a little bit later as we start to move down into the ocean. But at the minute, I'm hoping you can see the depth. But before I do disappear, thank you so much for all of your support. I know that I have been away from posting videos for a couple of months now. For people that don't know, I've just got married. I am now Mrs. Morley, or Schmorley as I like to say, but my artwork will always be known as Sharon Lindley. But I had the beautiful honour of going to Vegas and marrying my Neil, my person, in Vegas. We finally got there after 3 times, and that was amazing. I've also relocated to a new location within my company that I work for and placement, and it's an additional 2 hours commute in my day, and I've been settling into that. It's 3 weeks in, and they are an amazing bunch of people that I'm working with, and I've made the right decision. But I think it's just taken me a couple of weeks to adjust, and I've been falling asleep because I'm not used to traveling that much. But it's worth it. And Christmas is also approaching, and obviously when you're newly married you don't want to just be dumping your husband and hanging out with you all. And we were going to be going to Australia in January to see our children, which we've not been able to see for 2 years due to COVID. But we had to cancel that because we weren't allowed into Australia. But since we've cancelled it, they've now reopened the borders, so we will be able to see them in February. So there's lots happening, and I'm sure there's lots happening for everybody else. Just explaining a little bit about where I've been. And tonight, I finally, this painting was created before I left for Vegas. I just didn't have time to edit it, so I'm finally editing it and sharing it with you. I've got a wonderful art supporter in here who's been waiting me to finish her ocean resin piece, which I've now got my studio semi back to normal, so it's just got the final layer to do. So once I've done that, I'll be showing you that video. So thank you for your patience, and hang in there, cat. I promise you it's coming, but it's got to be perfect and right, or I'm not sending it to you. Yeah, and then in the new year you will see more of me. I absolutely love art, but you know what, driving to work now, those extra couple of hours has inspired me, because I'm now seeing sunsets I wouldn't normally get to see, and the clouds are just fascinating me. These beautiful soft colours that are coming into the clouds that normally I'm in bed asleep and would never see. So yeah, getting lots of inspiration. So again, thank you so much for your patience. Oh, look, I'm moving on to the ocean. Still working with the same colours. I'm just blocking out where I feel the ocean will be. And then I'm going to come in very loosely with my strokes and just add a little bit of white, a little bit of the darker grey until I find the balance. So you'll see me coming backwards and forwards. Again, it's more abstract, or I can't think of the terminology. Professional, tell me. Close up, it looks absolutely not great, but from a distance, it is a really nice suggestion. Impressionist? Is that the word? Anyway, I'm going to put some of Sharon's Dodgy FM on while I edited out that beautiful sky that I just did at the bottom. Anyway, speak soon. Bye! So the same as I did with the clouds, I was experimenting with what colour did I want it, and I wanted to work through some of the blue tones but ultimately come back to the sky tones in there and that sense of a lot of movement within that ocean as it's coming towards the beachfront. And slowly I'm adding different shades of the Paynes Grey with white, and with each layer just getting a little bit lighter and a little bit on the edge of the brush and just swiping it to the left and letting the canvas grab it and going with whatever paint lands on there. And sometimes that gives you some nice organic feeling of waves or the breaking in the ocean, and just keep going backwards and forwards until you're happy. So most of the painting is just those three colours still. As I come through to the shoreline, you'll see me starting to work with white, cadmium yellow, medium, and also a dioxide purple, dioxazine purple, purple. And blend those together until you get those beautiful different tones that you use in your sand. And again, I just went backwards and forwards until I felt the it looked like a semi-wet day on the beach. And started with some darks, went lighter, then created some more shades in there, just so that it looked a little bit more organic and natural, and I wasn't going for perfect. So it starts quite dark and you'll see me slowly lighting it up, and then once I've done that, I'll start to bring some of that foam onto the ocean. And yeah, I definitely enjoy the end result. It does evolve a little bit from this, and again, you keep working with it until you're happy. All you're seeing is my brushstrokes on how I go about creating these, but don't try and replicate it, not because I'm worried about you replicating it, more it'll get frustrating because I don't think I could ever 100% replicate it. It's all going to be unique, but as long as you understand the essence of what it is that I'm doing to try and get my pieces of art. I do come back and remove those rain clouds from the back. That's more just because, as I said before, the size of this composition, it just didn't want to be here on this one. Anyway, I have rabbled on enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, thumbs up, subscribe, share, comments are always welcome. And yeah, let me know if you've got any requests for colours you'd like to see me attempt to do within any ocean seascape, or any art requests, and I can build that into my catalogue of learning. I'll see you in on the next video. There's still a little bit to go for you, but I'm just going to finish with Sharon's Dodgy FM. And I've just remembered it is Paula's birthday and I missed that. So there will be a card on its way to you, Paula. I hope the move to your new home has gone well. Happy belated birthday. Hope you and your family are well. And I hope that all my subscribers out there are enjoying the build up to Christmas if they're celebrating it, and that they're all safe and well and surrounded by love. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.